So this guy is arguably one of the most bullshit fights in the whole game. That's because it really boils down to the fact that so many of his attacks have variants that you cannot safely attack, especially when he gets lower in health or is in the Dark Realm, that there's only two attacks that you can really punish safely, and I'm going to tell you what those are. So during Phase 1, you can pretty much punish anything at the end of it. This is like when his health is above the first third or so. He doesn't tend to extend his combos at this point, but basically after he shifts into the Dark Realm for the first time, anything after that you're going to have to look out for two things. First, when he does his grab attack where he charges at you, if you dodge out of the way, whether in the Dark Realm or not, if you dodge this and then get in behind him and attack, you can usually get in 3-4 attacks and then dodge away quickly, and you'll be fine. That doesn't change much throughout the whole course of the fight. The main problem is during the Dark Realm, his grab is so instantaneous, he's such a wide character, and he does it sometimes out of the middle of other combos, so you really got to keep an eye out for that grab or you're going to get one-shotted. The only real other attack that's safe to attack on is his burst attack if you can time the burst counter correctly. I had tons of difficulty timing the burst counter correctly with this. One thing I realized way into my attempts is that you want to make sure you burst counter immediately when he starts doing his combo if possible. That means you got to stay somewhat close to him when you expect that burst counter to happen. It generally tends to happen after he does a long attack combo or after he summons the Boar Fire Trail. So when you're sprinting to the side to get around that Boar Fire Trail, make sure you're sprinting at him and you're waiting for that signal to burst counter because you want to hit him right when he starts doing it. That's where I had the most success interrupting it. If you wait till he's mid-combo, sometimes it just doesn't work. So the main strategy I did here besides attacking those two attacks is just dodging through him. He tends to charge back and forth across the room. So when he's charging back and forth across the room, he doesn't stop until he thinks he's going to hit you. So if you dodge through him, then he thinks he's going to hit you and he'll stop charging. Sometimes if you dodge too far to the side or if you block, he'll hit you really hard or stagger you for a bunch. So the best strategy I found is simply just dodge through him if you can. A couple other tips for this fight that's really helpful. Fire resistance, obviously. He does a lot of fire damage. So being able to resist that fire damage, that he spreads all over the room with his AoEs is great. And also, if you get caught on fire, no big deal. Just dodge roll a couple of times or just dodge a couple of times. And you'll put that fire out real quick, so you'll take almost no damage. So you don't really have to worry too much about the circles as long as you're not just standing in them constantly. Just dodge a couple times and put that fire out. One other thing is that his horns are his weak spot for this fight. If you can manage to break them, he'll take a huge chunk off his ki. They seem to have quite a bit health, or they have finicky hitboxes, because I kept aiming for them, and I think I broke them about 2 out of 20 attempts. So if you can't hit them, don't worry about it, but if you're using a long weapon that has a, overhead attack like an Odachi or something like that, it'd be great for hitting those horns. And lastly, something that made this fight much easier for me, poison. Poison this bastard. Keep him fucking poisoned. You'll thank me later. Poison, as every single boss that's been difficult for me throughout this game, has been weak to poison. So, when in doubt, try poison. I think you'll notice a huge difference. Not only will it bleed his health away, but it'll, create opportunities to end phases faster, and it's just great all around.